Also apologize for this kind of situation that has been caused by the rain. Remain with us. Our boardroom was not that very big, but I think nonetheless can accommodate us. Today we have a one-item agenda that will be addressed by our president. If you are good to go, I just flag him off and we'll start from there. Doctor, I think you can address. Yeah?
Been telling people that if money from NRM comes, you eat it and clean your lips. And that's that is very true. You know, these bribes the movement brings out to our population, it is their money. They can eat it. But money from Mr. Museveni himself to an organization that is seeking the end of his junta is not something comparable. I've heard people comparing it with maybe getting contributions from people who have an association with the movement. That's not comparable. Even if they were cabinet members, there are many people in the cabinet who want change, actually, and who will quietly contribute to the struggle. Just like our members go at night to State House. Many from State House also come at night to talk to us. Because they are also there, but they want change. So yes, you can get contributions from such, but not from the very captor of the country, and you hope that that is all right. And would be the motivation of Mr. Museveni, paying money to his opponents. Well, you've seen him himself bragging that by 2021 there will be no opposition. That's what he was hoping to achieve by 2021. By what means was he intending to achieve that? Because people keep on talking, you know, you heard what was going on in DP. Oh, you are green outside, you are in Suju, you are yellow inside, you are green. And that, where the money goes, you see a change in approach. And specifically, it seeks to achieve two things. First, to fight against those who seek change not through the means that Mr. Museveni would want them to do so, which is the rigged election. If you are campaigning for elections, he'll give you the money even, because you know the election is within his control. But if you are agitating outside elections, you are the enemy. And we've had time to talk about the type of elections he continues to organize. So that is one of the reasons the money is given. It's to undermine those who seek to use potent means to get rid of him, of the system that captures Uganda. Secondly, it is to stop cooperation of all those who seek change, the working together of all those who seek change, unity to fight and get out of oppression. to the party. First of all, it has already made the party more or less dysfunctional. Because a party functions through its organs. The National Executive Committee is now totally dysfunctional because members within that committee whom you saw addressing the press last week have views that the leader of the party does not want, and so NEC will not sit. Some members even have tried to call it on their own, and he has said the Constitution gives me the power to call. You cannot call and it becomes NEC. And I guess he's right. So there is no sitting now of NEC which is supposed to run the party. So the party is now run on decrees. In other words, there is a coup in the party. The party is being run on decrees. 2020, but it was said that because of COVID, elections then were not feasible. So there is an election, it's an election year. And we are now going through which were totally ignored, and those who are managing the party at the helm continued in total disregard of NEC decisions. And the Electoral Commission, which is supposed to organize these elections, has huge problems now. I think the most public one was that it announced that it has already conducted grassroots elections in 93% of districts. And the districts are there, they are not invisible, they are there. You can, and even where the elections were said to have taken place, I think you members of the media were very helpful in exposing the lies. I saw NTV at somewhere in Luzira, I think, in Luzira in Nakawa division, inquiring about where the elections had taken place. And they said they had taken place at some church, and they asked the gate man there, he said, no, there has not been any person here. They have been making calls, appointing people into the structures of NRM, some of which calls were recorded and have been shared and so on. So there is a very problematic...
Structures of NRM or...
No, the structures of FDC. I said NRM?
Yes.
Oh, sorry, it's because it's always a problem. That we are talking about of dirty money and how it is resolved and of how the party is managed have now crept into the process of renewal of leaders. And clearly, the Electoral Commission, at least by its own pronouncements, is totally discredited. There are other factors that would discredit it, but at least that is the most obvious and public source of, I have never seen anything anywhere near the chaos that I saw at Najanankumbi, where the National Council was supposed to take place. And the people have been in Rosira, and so on, many were injured, and so on and so forth. And all the other scenes that you have seen, which included beating up members of the media at our headquarters. All these are very, very troubling, but, very real. So, the last bit that I would like to address. The way forward is obviously a very challenging one, because one gets a clear sense that the leaders in control of the party today at the helm, the party president, the secretary general, the treasurer general, and these concerned leaders have clearly dug in. They are not at all willing to reflect on the huge responsibility they have to be in charge of that party. They are determined to move on, selecting leaders until they renew their own positions in the party at a delegates conference. So, in short, as I have said, there is some kind of a coup in the party. The party is captured. The resilience of FDC can be relied on to free the party to function in normal ways. We must, even as we organize the liberation of the country, I think the members of the party have a duty to attempt at least to liberate their own party.
One Uganda, one people. One people, one Uganda.
The reason they are allocating seats and so on is to create a new reality. But I think there is still room to challenge that the attempt to create a new reality. Because if they had held a delegates conference, the National Council, I believe, will have to sit again. To be undertaken, our members need to, therefore, within the districts, mobilize, organize, and resist what is going on. No option but to create a transitional leadership that we reorganize all the processes to a new leadership. Because clearly, first of all, the leaders now are expiring. They are supposed to expire. But secondly, they are now encumbered with all these issues. So I think it will be important if or when the National Council sits to, if they want to, if they are charged to rescue the party from a path of destruction, they should create a transitional leadership. Will appoint competent firms or people to undertake a forensic audit of the party. Forensic audit of party resources. I think it is important, it is critical, and it in the benefit of all, so that we know the truth. Something which we could have been saved by the Elders Committee if it had directed its mind properly. Wrangles within parties have the effect, and maybe intended effect, of diverting us from our main focus of liberating the country. That's our main focus. So we are held down trying to sort out in-house issues and not paying attention to the capture of the country. We must be reminded that, first of all, these parties are being captured because the country itself is captured. Candidates for elections, we are charged with uniting all oppressed people to see that we resist those who captured our country and free it from them. That's why zisobola okufunika weziri. Waliwo eyabuuzizza ekipya ekisobola okukolebwa singa National Council eddamu okutuula. National Council esobola okutuula era nga bye bimu ebirina okutunuulirwa ekibiina bwe kinaaba nga kyakudde engulu. Bye bimu ebirina okutunuulirwa. Security mwetuulira, nti tetuula wakati mu bakifeesi nga bwe walaba naki nti wabawo okukaanya, security enaayisibwa etya, n'entambuza y'olukiiko enaaba etya. So kikyasoboka. Naye sigamba nti kijja kusoboka. Kikyasoboka, naye kisobola obutasoboka. Naye kikyasoboka era kyetulina okulaba nti abantu balwanirira okutuukako. Bwe kinaaba nga tekisobose okutereeza ekibiina, still wajja kubaawo ebirala ebigenda mu maaso mu kununula eggwanga, kubanga ekibiina kino twakizimbawo kituyambe mu kununula eggwanga n'okuleetawo enkyukakyuka eya demokrasiya. Jjukira nga nze abamu nakati bakyanvunaana kubanga nali wa NRM, nali wa NRA, ow'eggye lya NRA, nali wa NRM, naye NRM yalina ebigendererwa 10. Ebigendererwa 10 nakati tukyabirwanirira, byo tetubivangako, ye yabivaako. NRM yava ku bigendererwa byayo nebula, ffe ne tusigala nga tukola ki? Nga tulwanirira ebigendererwa ebyo. Era gye yabulira mugiraba byekola, bali mu kubba amabaati n'ebirala, bali mu kutta abantu be baali bakukuuma, kutulugunya abantu, zi drone biki. So yabula NRM neva ku bigendererwa byayo, naye abalwanirira ebigendererwa ebyo bo baasigalawo nga balwana. be bannansi abaagala ensi edde mu mikono gyabwe. Bannansi siffe, naye bannansi bonna baagala ensi edde mu mikono gyabwe. Ne FDC bwe balyamu olukwe nayo neebula, bajja kusigala era nga balwanirira ebigendererwa bino bye bimu. Tebajja kuva ku mulamwa, kubanga kye twagala y'ensi kudda mu mikono gy'abantu era abantu ebaweereze kyenkanyi, nti buli omu alina eddoboozi eryenkana agabana kyenkanyi, emikisa egiriwo tugigabana kyenkanyi, abantu kye balwanirira. N'olwekyo tekikoma kubanga waliwo abawambye ekibiina. Ebibiina nga nzize mbagamba, abantu bwe batabirwaneko ne bwe kitaasibwa, nakino ne bwe kitaasibwa, bwe kiba nga tekikyusiddwa munda mu kyo okugema abalala bagezaako okukiwamba, era kijja kufuna ebizibu ebirala. N'olwekyo ekibiina kisobola okuwambibwa, kisobola okwetaasa okuwambibwa. Alipooti y'akakiiko kati yafulumizibwa, buli omu wa ddembe kugifuna. Ekikulu mu yo ekyangu okutegeera nti teyagezaako n'akamu okunoonyereza ku mazima agakwata ku ssente. Ate nga nze bwe nagituukirira, kye kimu ku byebyo ebikulu bye nasaba nti wabeewo okufuna amazima agakwata ku ssente agava mu alikodi ez'empapula z'ekibiina, alikodi za banka, kubanga banka z'ekibiina weeziri, ssente meka ezayingira mu banka yaffe oba ezayingira mu pate mu makubo amalala. Likodi za pate zandibadde zeeyambisibwa okulaga ssente mmeka zaavaawa bwe tuba nga twazeewola ku nzikiriziganya ki ey'okuzeewola. Ebyo byonna nakati tebimanyiddwa muntu yenna mu kibiina. N'olwaleero teryamanyi. Mu kakiiko mu alipoota eno kawandiise buli omu gwe kaayita bye yakabuulira. Bo tebalina kye beenoonyeza nga bo. Kye bateeka muno nti kye baazuula, kyokka kye baazuula ku lwabwe, nti ensonga zino nsonga za kwegendereza. Kyokka kye bawandiise muno nga kye baazuula. Tewali kirala ku lwabwe kye baazuula. So bye nababuulira babiwandiisemu, ne babiwandiikamu na bubi, ebingi tebabiwandiiseemu. Nandala bye yababuulira, Poa bye yababuulira, ani bye yababuulira, so bawandiise minutes ez'enkiiko ze baatuuza. Naye si kutuyamba ensonga gye baali bakubuulirizako okugyongezaayo mu kutegeerekeka. Ekyo nze ndowooza kyava mu ngeri ky'akakiiko kennyini gye kaatondebwawo, kubanga National Council yalagira nti wabeerewo akakiiko kano. Yalagira mu mwaka oguwedde mu Gwekumi akakiiko tekaateekebwawo okumala emyezi 6. Kye nategeerako nti ekyaleetera ebbanga eri eddene waliwo okusika omuguwa wakati wa abakulembeze ba executive ya party n'abakulembeze ba National Council. Kwani asaanidde okuteekawo akakiiko kano. Ku nkomerero abakulembeze ba National Executive be baakateekawo, ate nga bye kaali kakunoonyerezaako byali bibakwatako bo butereevu. Era mu kukatongoza baakawa omulimu gwa kutabaganya Besigye ne Nandala. Gwe mulimu ogwakakwasibwa kusinziira ku bye bawandiika. N'olwekyo ndowooza y'ensonga emu lwaki tekaanoonyereza amazima agakwata ku kizibu ekituleetedde emitaawaana gino. So akakiiko tekayina kye kayambye, tekabuulira kibiina ssente meka ezayingira, zaavaawa,